Today marks the halfway point in Season 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. The hit parade continued last night with 5 more home runs from familiar power hitters, including the 200th in AU championship history. Every moment counts, so don't miss one. The action is unlimited.
Butter! Yes! Yes!
Yes, let's go! Game 2 in week 3. The autographs being signed. Little League Day here at Athletes Unlimited. Team Jaquish and Team Mulipola. The second game of our doubleheader. One team last night lost in heartbreaking fashion. The other won late. It was exciting. A lot of momentum coming into this day. And Savannah Jaquish, who will captain her team for the second time this season, leads everybody on the Geico leaderboard. She will try to stay there thanks to that innovative scoring system that makes all Athletes Unlimited events so special. Who will be those captains? We will find out at the end of tomorrow's games here in Rosemont. Alongside the two-time Olympian Danielle Laurie, I'm Chucky Kempf. And Danielle, heartbreak for one team, elation for the other. Something's got to give tonight.
And the beauty of this game is you get another opportunity tomorrow to go defend what you want, but also use what you just learned from the day before to get better. And most of these women do not like losing. So you know they're going to go into today to try to get what's theirs and get a little bit better. But Savannah Jaquish for me has just been such a star in this league, and her numbers don't lie. At first across the board in pretty much every single category, especially those hit by pitches. I laugh a little at that because they don't like it, but you do gain some points for those hit by pitches. And she just needs to continue to be as consistent as she can be for her team to be that captain. And Aaliyah Andrews, wow, not only is she a star out in the outfield, center field, I mean, she is just a pest when she gets into the batter's box. So good, uses her slap, uses her speed to continue to put pressure on that defense. So good, Aaliyah Andrews.
Who will come out on top tonight? Well, the team that will collect the most win points. Innings, the game, we saw how important that was in the 7th inning of Game 1. The team that lost ended up with those last 40-inning win points, and it was huge. The individual stats, of course, and then those bonus points that you get for being voted in those 3 MVP spots. Well, the real MVP is Key. Michael, where you at, Key?
I'm out here in left field. Just a minute ago, this entire bullpen was filled with little leaguers and little kids getting their balls signed. I'm so excited to maybe chat to another one, like Ava from the last game, but we'll see, so stay tuned.
Ava met her hero, Sis Bates, after that game, got her autograph. And we are just about set for the second game of the night. Team Mulipola in the gold because their captain, Deja Mulipola, was at the top of the leaderboard after 2 weeks here in Rosemont. We are at the halfway point of the season. Odyssey Alexander to the circle for Deja Mulipola. Has not earned a decision in this season yet. Just over 4 in that ERA. She can put together a good performance.
Yeah, you bet she can. She has just been so much fun to watch in her career at James Madison and here in Athletes Unlimited. Throws the ball hard, has an amazing changeup, and I know I continue to keep saying this, but a changeup in this league, so important.
Here's who's behind her. Jackson and Rhodes in the corner outfield spots, and Aaliyah Andrews can cover every inch of the ground in between them. Piper and Flippin on the left side, Janae Jefferson and Filler on the right, and the captain, Deja Mulipola, behind the plate. We will be trying to keep this lineup of Team Jaquish in check, led by Aubrey Leach right at the top. Then it's Sydney Romero. We already saw Sierra have another good night at the plate. Savannah Jaquish delivered in a big way. And then DJ Sanders down in that 5-hole. Is that bat starting to come alive? A 2-run home run last night. And DJ is starting to awaken here in week number 3. She said it was coming, that her approach was going to pay off, and it is starting to. Odyssey Alexander, first pitch to Aubrey Leach is down low for ball 1. Leach, a product of Karen Weekly and the Tennessee softball program. 1-0 count. Pops this one up. Left field, Jackson underneath it. 2 pitches and 1 out for Odyssey Alexander.
Shortstop number 2, Sydney Romero.
Odyssey, she is confident in what she can do in the circle, and I love hearing some of the comments she makes about herself. She has a great personality, hilarious. She is so much fun to watch. Tons of swagger in the circle from Odyssey Alexander. This is hit well into left center field. Jackson can't get there. It one-hops the wall, and Romero, she's got some swagger herself, coasting into second with a 1-out double.
The catcher, number 27, Savannah Jaquish.
Those Romero sisters continue to swing it well. So does Savannah Jaquish.
This was yesterday, just an absolute tank. Turns on this pitch. Wow.
That was in the 7th inning when they plated 5 runs to break a 2-2 tie. And that was what broke the tie. 3-run home run made it 5-2. They got 2 more and won the game 7-2. And that's what sent Team McClinney home. A little upset with how things finished yesterday because they felt like they had a really good shot at that. They left a lot of runners on base. We saw Team McClinney come out hungry, and they feasted in game 1. They lost those 40 win points at the end, but they took 80 for themselves. Savannah Jaquish in an 0-2 hold to Alexander, trying to bring Romero around from second base. Upstairs, ball 1.
Quick 0-2 on Savannah Jaquish, and as a pitcher, this is when you just need to be a little bit more precise on where we're going at those 1-2, 0-2 counts. We don't want to give anything too close, but we also want it to at least kind of fool the hitter or get them thinking, and that's perfect 1-2 pitch on the inner half, rise ball.
One-two to Jaquish. Inside and blocked up by Mulipola. Good job to keep it in front there and keep Romero at second.
It's a really good job by Mulipola.
Two-two. Jaquish rips it foul. The end of the bat a little bit. She's scary in the batter's box. She can really do anything at the plate in any count. Just have to think, as a pitcher, you never feel comfortable approaching Savannah Jaquish. If you're up 0-2, down 3-0, it really doesn't matter. Who wins this battle in the first inning? 2-2. She is really hammering the inside part of the zone. That one runs too far, and it's a full count.
69 miles an hour in on the hands. And now this potentially opens up the outside if she wanted to go curveball.
That was over the plate a little bit, stabbed by Piper and throws to first. Nice play over at third base by Lily Piper. And a nice job by Odyssey Alexander to win that battle with Savannah Jaquish. Somewhat in that first game, we still saw some pitching. Rachel Garcia had a great performance. Maggie Ballant was really good out of the bullpen for Team Chittister. It wasn't a pitcher's duel most of the game by any means. Bubba Nichols fouls this into the stands. To Bubba Nichols. This is hit well. Nichols deep center field. Over Aaliyah Andrews. The run will score, and Nichols actually holds up at first base. So it is a long, long RBI single off the center field wall. Bubba Nichols gives DJ Sanders a chance, and she had a big impact last night.
She said it last weekend. I feel like I'm heating up at the right time. It's coming. I just need to keep swinging, and it did. 248 feet last night.
I love what you were talking about with that swing, that Louisiana Lafayette swing, and you could see it again there. She just didn't even finish. I mean, it's incredible, the power. 1-0 pitch, runs inside, 2-0. Is too far inside.
And I like the fact that Odyssey wants to go in. I'm here for it. I just think you have to get it half a ball from being like it's almost going to hit the hitter. I wasn't sure how that was going to come out, but a little bit closer to the plate. Doesn't sound great, but I feel like it's just drifting a little bit too far in on the righty's hands for the umpire to call. So I think to really hone in on that river, try to get that for a strike.
3-1. This is hit and just foul. Was there a spot you felt like, if I said you've got to hit this spot right here, you say I can do it 99 out of 100 times, I can hit that spot with this pitch? What would it have been?
Change up.
Where at?
It just totally depends on the count. Like 3-2 count, you need it for a strike. 0-2 count, you need it to be low and in or low and away. But everything was about seeing it before you throw it in your head and setting yourself up to be successful throwing that pitch. And the visualization piece is so important for all positions. Every single position on that field has to start mentally preparing and visualizing for the task in hand. So the on-deck hitter is getting ready to get on. But for those pitchers, it really is about, okay, this 3-2 count, what does Odyssey want? You have to know it in your dome before you throw it and commit. And she goes with the change piece.
Right on cue. Just like Danielle Laurie right there, swinging through it. One run across for Team Jaquish. And how about this? Ava meets her hero, Sis Bates, and gets the autograph in the picture. That is why they do it. Sis Bates, incredible. Back to the ballpark, Little League night. A lot of young fans in the stands. We saw Sis Bates signing one of her biggest fans' autographs between games. How about a great opportunity here for the Oklahoma product, Shannon Sale. Good chance to get a start in this game in week 3.
Yes, and she wants to start out with a bang right away. And it's really about figuring out that strike zone, use that rise ball. She throws it on multiple different levels, but I think out of the gate, what pitch can I execute, get for a strike, and then start to move around and toy with the hitter a little bit.
First up is Jasmine Jackson. She will lead things off, followed by Flippin and Mulipola. Hit her 3rd home run of the season last night. That's tied for 2nd. Watch out for the dangerous bat of Shannon Rhodes. Jackson thought about it. That catches the outside corner. Great spot there from Shannon Sale. Jasmine Jackson 0 for 3 at the plate last night. This is skied the edge of the brown turf. And the play is made by Sydney Romero for out number 1. So Romero is there at shortstop. Behind her in the outfield, Wiggins, Nichols, and Harshman across the way. Nadia Taylor gets the start at 3rd base tonight with Romero next to her. Leach and Vidalis on the right side. And Savannah Jaquish goes behind the plate tonight for her team. Primarily seen her at 3rd base. inside corner from Sale. Great location to the first couple batters here so far. This is Hannah Flippin. Very dangerous bat from California, went to Utah for her college days. Outside from Shannon Sale. First season of Athletes Unlimited out of Oklahoma. Played 2 years at Florida International, transferred for her last 3 seasons at OU to play for Patty Gasso and play for national championships. What a program it is in Norman, Oklahoma. Number of Sooners in the Athletes Unlimited field. Sale and Romero out there right now. So Kaylee Clifton in game 1. Nicole Rangel Mendez, another one of them. Just misses inside to Flippin.
And what's crazy is that Flippin didn't even sniff that pitch. Wasn't even fooled for a second. And that's when you know you're seeing it well, but when you're facing just a seasoned pro hitter, she didn't even flinch.
Left side, Taylor knocks it down to Romero. They will not get Flippin. That was a great stop and a brave stop by Nadia Taylor to put her body on the line there. It's an infield single for Flippin.
Yeah, just a hot shot hit her way, skips up. I like the way that she keeps it in front of her. That gets by her. That is a double all day for Hannah Flippin.
With 1 out and a runner on, here comes trouble. Deja Mulipola. She has been tremendous this summer at AUX and here in the championship season. 1 for 3 yesterday with the home run. Head in the count 2-0. Sale has got to be careful to Mulipola right here, falling behind like this. Deja Mulipola, a 2-time National Catcher of the Year at Arizona. That's in there for strike 1, 3-1.
Still want to be mindful at a 3-1 count, throwing to Mulipola. Coming off a 322-foot shot last night. She's seeing it well.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you right now, I think that was every bit as far as the last one. That one had a much different trajectory. The one she hit last night, fortunately, there were no planes for a change landing at O'Hare at the moment because it was up there. 3-2 count. Swing and a miss. Runner goes. They got her. Strike him out, throw him out. Sale, Jaquish, Romero. That secures the 10 points.
This is epic. Solid spin on the outside part of the plate. Jaquish with an absolute cannon to Sid Romero to get Hannah Flippin. That's the momentum you need. Use it, Team Jaquish.
1-0. Team Jaquish takes the first 10 inning win points thanks to Sale and Savannah Jaquish combining for the strike him out, throw him out to finish the first inning. How about the Little League Softball World Series? It is all building up to that championship game Monday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern on ESPN, it's Texas and Virginia for a spot in that championship game. Maryland and the Philippines on the other side will meet the winner of the other game. Monday, 7 Eastern on ESPN. You do not want to miss it. There's a lot of Little Leaguers out here at the park tonight. It's perfect. You get the Little League Softball World Series and Athletes Unlimited exclusively this summer on the ESPN family of networks. I love how those two go together. And these players, there's one thing that they have, it's perspective and understanding their role in growing the game, but understanding how many little eyes are on them at all moments of time out here on the field, whether you're at home watching or you're in the stands. Odyssey Alexander trying to put up a 0 this inning. It's Kelsey Harshman to swing through it. It's a 1-2 count.
And that's why I'm just such a big believer in understanding that eyes are always on you. So how you choose to carry yourself, not only when things are going right, but when things are hitting the fan. How do you carry yourself out in the circle when pressure is applied? How do you carry yourself playing second base if you make an error? And those are all things that little ladies get the opportunity to watch and witness, and they replicate, and they want to be like that. So at the professional level, you got to be a pro at all times, and that's what I can appreciate about the women that compete in this league. But the Little League softball players do not care if you go for 3 or 3 strikeouts. They care about if they get that opportunity to meet you, that connection, because you can really impact a player's life by going out of your way to just connect and smile and lift them up. Here's that off-speed pitch, perfect location. You look at where Deja Mulipola is set, just completely fools Kelsey Harshman on the outer half.
Ooh, that's hit a long way. Vidalis continues to swing her bat well. Foul ball. It's an 0-1 count to Torrey out of Texas A&M. She's feeling good at the plate. Got a big smile on her face right now. Oh-1 from Alexander. Popped up and playable. Filler into foul territory makes the grab. There's a quick 2 outs here in the second for Odyssey Alexander. See Odyssey wearing the number 22. That's usually Sis Bates' number, and the name Burnett on the back. Odyssey lost a friend and former teammate at James Madison, Lauren Burnett. Wanted to honor her, so she asked Sis Bates if she could have her number, and asked the PEC, the Player Executive Committee, if she could wear a different name on the back of her jersey this season. They said she could. That's just part of what Athletes Unlimited is about, really. There's no doubt that they would have said yes, and so Odyssey honoring her late friend Lauren Burnett. She does so in 1-2-3 fashion here in the second. Odyssey Alexander starting to settle in here in Rosemont. Some inning points on the line for her team. Well, big inning here, 10 points on the line. Close game so far, too. Team Jaquish up 1-0. They have 10 inning win points. Bubba Nichols roaming out in center field. She's played all 3 outfield positions here in 3 weeks. She's been in left field, she's been in right field, and in center field. She showed off the leather in the outfield as well through these first couple of weeks. I just love this field. I love everything about it here in Rosemont. A big atmosphere, a big feel to this, and as it should be, you really do have the best in the world on display for 5 weeks this summer. We are in week 3. Shannon Rhodes will lead off the second inning. She was 1 for 3 last night. She was a part of that odd play at third base. She kind of slid off the bag. We had a review of it. Sam Fisher had tagged her out. It was very, very close, and her foot just slipped off the base for a millisecond. It's in there for strike one from Shannon Sale. 2-1 count.
This is a good curveball. Outside part of the plate, like that spot.
Ripped by Rhodes. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. That's the tying run, and a run that could be worth 10 inning points. Leslie Alexander, she's coaching first base.
You know who else used to do that all the time? Kat Osterman.
There you go.
Always coached first, whether she was pitching or not.
I like it though, just staying loose, relaxed. Good spot from Sale. Andrea Filler. One of the locals really here in Illinois, went to Northwestern. 0-1 pitch coming. Upstairs, ball one. Interesting to see how Team Jaquish manages their pitching staff tonight. And you've talked about it, Danielle. You're surprised you don't see more of a committee approach, and you just wonder what's Shannon Sale's role in this game tonight. Is it 2 or 3 innings, or do they let her go and see what she can do? We saw Danielle O'Toole with a complete game last night. That was back-to-back complete games for O'Toole. She's starting to heat up and climb up the leaderboard. You have to think O'Toole gets the ball tomorrow one more time for this team. You've got Sale, Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, and Peyton St. George to round out the rotation. This is out to Wiggins, who makes the catch in left field for out number 1.
And something to think about, this is the first week where we don't have a pitcher in the captain's seat. And at times, being a pitcher, you can maybe manage a staff the way you want to, but these are just pure hitters. You think about McClinney and Mulipola and Jaquish and Chittister. So it's making sure you have those conversations of how you're going to approach a game with the pitching staff, whether you're going to try to say, hey, we have our Danielle O'Toole and our Rachel Garcia, who we know that we can get those solid 7 innings from. But some of those other pitchers, one time through the lineup, they can do some damage. But then when you start to try to amp it up and go 2-3 times through the lineup, these hitters are so good that they make that adjustment. So I wouldn't be surprised if those conversations have been had about how Team Jaquish is going to approach maybe first time through the lineup with Shannon Sale, and then assess, see how she's done against these hitters.
Savannah Jaquish trying to protect herself at the top of that Geico leaderboard right now. Second straight week as a captain. Good spot from Sale there on the outside corner to Janae Jefferson. They picked up a base hit last night. She's been hitting the ball hard. That one will not find a hole. Romero tracks it down up the middle, and there's 2 away. A soft line drive up the middle right there.
I thought for a second this was a hot shot, but clearly I was fooled up here in the booth.
Sydney Romero not fooled. Snag its shortstop. Here is Haley Busby. One of 3 Oklahoma State players on Team Mulipola this week. This is hitting to right field and down in front of Harshman. Busby rounds first but will stay, and Rhodes is up to third. Nice simple swing right there. Pokes it into right field. It's a base hit for Haley Busby.
And I really like Haley Busby's swing. She's standing upright, she's very patient, and then when she executes, she just throws her hands at this pitch. Doesn't even fully finish her swing, but sees the ball deep enough in the zone to where she can get her hands to it, just punches it to right field.
Now a talk for Team Jaquish. How do they get out of this jam with 2 outs, first and third? It'll be Lily Piper getting the chance at the plate for Team Mulipola. Ten points on the line and a chance to tie the game with Rhodes at third. The Dallas, some last words of wisdom for Shannon Sale. First pitch to Piper, excuse me, Busby at first. Shannon Sale is really located on the inside corner to righties well in this game so far. Up top and Piper leaves it.
Great pitch, little off speed. It's a really good spot. See that downward rotation, almost like an off-speed drop.
She strand 2 runners as Mix pitches so well here in the first couple innings. Piper left side, it gets through, and in comes Rhodes to tie the game. And they take the second inning as Lily Piper delivers.
She just clears her hips really well, almost steps in the bucket a little bit on this pitch, like she knew it was going to be on the inner half. She is jacked about it.
The inning continues. Great at bat from Lily Piper. That levels the inning points at 10 apiece. Odyssey Alexander loving that. Aaliyah 3 for 3 last night. And Sale gets her the first time tonight. But 1 run across, delivered by Lily Piper. And Team Mulipola has evened things at 1 apiece.
I played Oldsmar Little League, and I played Little League for a while. I met some of my best friends till this day. Even my friends that didn't play any sports, like I got them to come play Little League softball just because we wanted to all hang out together. And it's just like a big community, brings so many people together.
In a lot of ways, Athletes Unlimited is that big community. All these friends who happen to be world-class athletes are all hanging out together competing, and these are our Little League alumni. Aaliyah Andrews, one of 8 players in this field who are Little League alumni. We saw Rachel Garcia with a great performance in the first game. Aaliyah out in center field here in game number 2 for Team Mulipola. Megan Wiggins leading off the inning. That pitch misses just outside from Odyssey Alexander. Wiggins in the 9-hole this week for Team Jaquish.
And she's good at being able to turn the lineup over, down at the bottom. Has some pop, has some speed.
Left side, there it is. Talk about turning the lineup over. Megan Wiggins right on cue. Don't you just love that? Talking about Megan Wiggins being able to turn it over and boom.
I know, it makes me sound like I kind of know what I'm talking about up here, huh?
I think you do a little bit, occasionally.
Yeah, we have our moments.
Thanks for including me, I appreciate that.
I know, we're a team.
Aubrey Leach is who she turns it over to. Alongside Danielle Laurie, I'm Chucky Kempf. Thanks for joining us. It's been a good week 3. Still 2 more full weeks to go. We've got this game and 2 more tomorrow to finish off week number 3, and we really get to hone in on who that 3rd Athletes Unlimited champion might be. We're talking just championship season. We have Daniel O'Toole, of course, who is the AUX inaugural champion. Which I love that idea. I'm so glad they did the AUX season. It's something that is replicable in other Athletes Unlimited sports. But for softball fans, coming out of the Women's College World Series, and then you get to watch some of those players who were just there, but also these really legends of the game continue to play. They get a little bit of time off, a few weeks, and then boom, here in Rosemont, getting ready for the championship season as Leach picks up 10 points for the sacrifice bunt and is able to move Wiggins into scoring position.
Well, and you also have fans that are tuning in to the college postseason regional supers in Oklahoma City. And then when the World Series is over, like, everyone's sad because for them it had always been there's no more softball on. But actually, 3 days later, you get to turn on AUX and tune in. And I think they had a lot of people that were watching, not only because of the respect of these players and the names, but because people fall in love with this game when they turn it on TV and they watch the World Series. It's a show. It's a thing of beauty. So whenever you know that softball's on, you're going to continue to record it, tune in live.
Well, how many legends are born in Oklahoma City? I mean, we're looking at one in the circle right now, in Odyssey Alexander, and what she was able to do with James Madison. And of course, there's that play she makes running in from the circle, diving to make the tag that really ended up being a game-saving play from Odyssey Alexander. And I can see that play so clearly in my mind that she made, and she was a superstar. And she already was a superstar before that, and then it really cemented it.
She brought the old school flavor of the game to the new age way that it was. And I say that because she literally carried James Madison to Oklahoma City. She pitched every single inning of the regional and the super and got them to Oklahoma, beat Oklahoma right out of the gate on Thursday, made it to Sunday, and that was James Madison's first ever appearance in Oklahoma City, and they made it to Sunday, where they had to get beat twice. And I remember breaking down in tears, and that was my first postseason not working because I was with Team Canada. And I remember watching, like, crying like a baby when they lost on Sunday, and you could just see the emotion when she got pulled from the game. It was such a good run. I'm so proud of the woman that Odyssey Alexander is and what she stands for, and she just radiates so much positivity, and she is a role model and will be for the younger generation for a very long time.
Let's hope we see her in the circle for a very long time as Romero lifts one to deep center. Andrews is there, the runner tags and is safe. Wiggins into third with 2 outs.
Catcher, number 27, Savannah Jaquish.
And this is kind of picking your poison here. Do you attack Savannah Jaquish? And I like that they're just kind of having a meeting of the minds here to just kind of figure out, are we going to go after Savannah Jaquish? Do you feel more comfortable going against Bubba Nichols? Because at this point, we have an open base. And I'm not saying, hey, walk Jaquish and walk Bubba Nichols to load the bases up, but everything comes down to that gut feeling as a pitcher. And that's why you have that conversation with your battery. You talk to your catcher about it. You get on the same page. And then you try to execute that game plan.
What would you do?
I would probably put Jaquish on and attack Bubba Nichols. Simply me, and that's not a knock at Bubba Nichols or Savannah Jaquish. It's just that in the moment, captain, a lot going on. Like, that's someone that we've seen excel in pressure-filled moments. And a lot of the time, too, it's that feeling of, like, who would I prefer to get beat by if I do? And we saw this happen a lot in the postseason with the college game. Like, pitchers are getting beat by the best hitters. And I'm always like, that's what I wouldn't be able to live with as a pitcher, put my head on the pillow, knowing man, in those big moments, I pitched to their best player when I had an open base. And that's why you always put someone that can step up behind him. And that's why Bubba Nichols is behind the Savannah Jaquish, because she is someone that could step up in that role right away and execute. But it's all on feel and gut.
Big swing from Jaquish there. It's a 2-2 count. And you kind of touched on it, though. Those are it's hard I mean, Deja Mulipola is behind the plate. There is no coach. You have a facilitator in Charlotte Morgan, and I think what we've seen from Deja Mulipola, what she will tell you, I think she really wants her facilitators to have a big role in decision-making. But you're trying to make a decision on the fly. Do I get rid of Jaquish to go to Nichols? And it doesn't get a whole lot easier, but you're right. I mean, who are you going to roll the dice with? It's a hard decision to make, and we saw in the game earlier today, they walk somebody to get to Taylor Edwards, and Taylor Edwards clears the bases with a double.
Well, and there's such an accountability piece as a pitcher, because the ball's coming out of our hands, and we have to live and die with what's going to happen in the moment. And at the end of the day, what we can control is where we throw the ball and who we choose to throw to in those big moments. But that's huge.
Wow. Big pitch from Odyssey Alexander right there. They go after Jaquish, and Alexander delivers in a huge way.
I don't know if Odyssey Alexander heard me up in the booth to say to walk Savannah Jaquish, but she just absolutely climbs the ladder, swagger on high. Big time moment for Alexander.
One to one. 10 inning points on the line. Team Mulipola trying to do it again. The young fans checking out the wall. There are so many cool features here at Athletes Unlimited. And we are not done yet either. Tomorrow, still a big day. We are on ESPN Plus, 5:30 Eastern, Team Chittister and Team Jaquish, the first of our doubleheader. And it's Championship Sunday for lacrosse, 1 Eastern on ESPN2, and then the final game, the championship game, 3:30 Eastern on ESPNU, and things are coming down to the wire on the lacrosse side. We can only hope that we get that much drama here at the championship season in that final week, and it does feel like this could be the most dramatic season of all. We had a very dramatic season in San Diego, a shortened season of AUX. Our champion from AUX, Danielle O'Toole, joins us in the chair. Another complete game, Danielle, yesterday, and I remembered you talking to us about your mindset, and when you're thinking like, if I'm going to throw a complete game, you kind of get geared up and work toward that, and you could just see that as the game goes on. I mean, I don't want to ask you the same question, but it is incredible how, you know, the first inning, give up the run again, and then just slowly got better and better as that went on. Explain that to us.
Yesterday, it felt like right around like the third or fourth inning, and it felt like I had thrown 2 games. Like my legs were, I don't know what happened, but my legs were dead, and my rear end was just so tight that I threw a lot of balls. I threw like way too many pitches yesterday. I threw at least 40 more pitches than I needed to, and it's just because my legs are really tired. So I pushed through that for sure.
Danielle, I saw you tweet something about Athletes Unlimited and just to watch the pitchers and their mannerisms and communication with the battery. And talk to me just about the mentality in the circle as far as dealing with failure or pressure or bad calls or errors. Like, what is your process?
I think that throughout my whole life, my demeanor has been I've been a very like flat, stoic person, and like you can say that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always learned to kind of internalize that and figure out a way to get around it. I think here's really, really difficult. Like last year I really struggled. I had a hard time. I was going through a lot of personal stuff. So to be able to come out here and do, there you go. And come out here and be able to do exactly what I wanted to do. You know, there's strike calls that you're not going to get. There's outs that are not going to be made. You know, we had a couple yesterday. Every pitch that I throw is not going to be perfect. So like just learning throughout my career how to be able to do that and like cope with that. It's the coping part. That's the hard part as a pitcher.
You've been extremely impressive all summer long, AUX here, and it just seems like you continue to get stronger. So keep it up. Are you going to give us a sneak preview? Will you throw tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think I will probably end up throwing at some point. I have no idea if I'm starting or not. We haven't we haven't gotten that far. We want to get through this game right now. It's a tight game.
All right, keep up the good work, Danielle.
Thank you. Bye.
Danielle O'Toole, she is on her way up the leaderboard. She has been tremendous, and she just keeps getting better. And it was a little bit of a slow start to her here in Rosemont, but 2 straight complete games. Stranded 9 runners on the base paths against Team McClenny last night to secure the victory. Picked up some MVP points. She is on her way up. There's the Geico leaderboard right there. O'Toole in that 7th spot. She's not throwing tonight, but she can still move up if her team can have success and get those win points.
Well, and there's something to be said about playing at your best because you're not putting that extra pressure on yourself, and that's something that she talked about with us the last weekend in the chair chat, of just really appreciating where her feet are at and retiring on her own terms and going out with a bang and feeling the best she's ever felt.
Well, Shannon Sales feeling pretty good right now. That's the top of the order. Second time through, she goes 1, 2, 3. That is as good as it gets.
One of the best catches I think that I've ever seen.
I got the nickname Eberle by making a lot of diving catches where I am in the air.
Eberle cleared for takeoff.
Whenever I first got the name, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, it's so nice. Thank you. But then it really carried. Like, I was being called it. I was like, well, this is cool. Like, this is really a thing, you know? Being known for something, especially in softball as we're trying to grow the game, is so cool. And it's just like a step forward.
Well, it's hard to beat how cool Aaliyah Andrews is out in center field, and we've got her mic'd up. Aaliyah, we are so happy to talk to you in game. That catch you made last week, Danielle and I were talking, it was the best catch I think we've ever seen, certainly up here in the booth. I mean, what was going through your mind after that? You've done it so many times, so you're probably thinking, you know, it's just another day, but what was going through your mind when you made that catch?
I really was just thinking, catch the ball, Aaliyah, like find a way to catch it, because in that game especially, there were so many bloopers. It felt like everybody was getting base hits from some bloopers here and there, so I just was determined to not let another one drop. And so, yeah, after I caught it, I laid down for a little bit, as you guys maybe saw, because it kind of hurt, but I was just thankful that I caught it because I think my team needed it, and it was definitely a momentum shifter.
Where's it ranked for you on all the catches you've made? Where's it at?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Go, Jazz! Ooh, I don't know. That's hard. I would say either 1 or 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, 1 or 2. I think that one was especially special because I low-key didn't know if I was gonna get to it. Like, I felt super far from it, which is why I kind of did like a leap before I went forward.
Yeah.
I felt super far, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go all out and try and get it, and if I catch it, woohoo. So it worked out. But I think my favorite one, Jack clap! The next contender is the one that I made at LSU that kind of became like my logo.
Yep.
Just because it was such a cool memory, I think, and it kind of started the whole Eberle thing, so.
Aaliyah, I know some of my friends right now are watching in the Little League. Amanda Scarborough, Michelle Smith, Courtney Lyle, they're all tuning in fresh off of 4 games today. But talk to me about your experience going to North Carolina, getting to do the Little League, meet some of the teams and the players. What was that like with you and Sis Bates?
It was a full circle moment. Like, I played Little League, and it was like the best time of my life. I have friends from when I was 7 playing still, and just a community that it brings, like all those people that were there. It's just so cool, and to see all those girls living out the dream that I had too, it just nothing beats it. And they were so excited to see us, so that also just brings so much joy.
Can you take me through what it's been like on Team Mulipola this week, kind of what your team I guess, motto is you have a mascot. I have not seen that with you guys. You guys just kind of staying stoic and keeping it a secret?
No, we're the Lucky Charms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have Lucky Charms in the dugout, but we kind of dropped the ball yesterday and didn't bring them out. But we have Lucky Charms. That's our logo. But this week we've just been trying to keep it light, have a ton of fun, and, you know, just come out here and play.
Well, we always have fun watching you in center field. I don't want to get greedy, but we're just waiting for the next one now.
Thanks.
Aaliyah Andrews, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
She is spectacular, and I think she makes the comment. I'm so interested that she said that, because that was the one thing, like, I couldn't stop talking about it. I was telling everybody about it. I was sending it to people, and I was like, just watch her. She gets parallel to the ground, and exactly what she's saying. She's like, I didn't know if I was going to get there, and I'm interested to hear her say that, because she gets parallel, and it wasn't bang bang. A lot of diving plays are bang bang, glove right when you're diving. She moved. I mean, she had to travel feet in the air, suspended, without touching the ball, which I think is what made that a 20 out of 10 for me.
Well, and a fearless mentality. Like, you have to have that. If you're an outfielder and you're going to lay out for the ball, you got to lay it all out on the line. And that's exactly what these outfielders do. Aaliyah Andrews, I mean, you think about the fact that she gets to kind of be around like a Haley McClinney and a Morgan Zirkle and an Amanda Lorenz. And she's not a rookie anymore. I'm not saying that, but I think there's something to be said about wanting to learn, constantly evolving as an athlete. What are we doing to pick other people's brains?
Wow! That is a shot from Kelsey Harshman. She knows who's in the outfield and said, I am not going to give anybody a chance. A rocket over the left center field wall.
Wow, this is just a pitch. This is right down the middle. Kelsey Harshman with the opposite little left center. Stays on it. I mean, that got out of here in a heartbeat.
It did.
Almost felt like I did a disservice. I was still talking about my old story. That was blasted. 269 feet.
Oh my goodness! Is it back to back? It is! Vidalis! Says I'll have what she's having, please. And that will bring some change in the circle.
And these pitches are just bleeding over the middle. And if that happens, I mean, these hitters are going to capitalize and execute.
Well, for every run scored, it's 10 trees thanks to Aspiration's support. And Aspiration is going to have a busy summer planting all these trees right now. That is blasted. Odyssey Alexander's day is done. Carrie Eberle's day is just beginning with one out here in the top of the fourth. Her team down by 3. Harshman first, then Vidalis with a solo shot. Back-to-back home runs. And enter Carrie Eberle, who's trying to make amends. Yesterday came in relief, 2 innings, and she was out of it in the 6th. They had not scored. Team Mulipola. Eberle fielded a ground ball, made an error, couldn't get it out of her glove cleanly, and they went on to lose that game.
Well, and they make the change at the right time. Some good momentum hanging for Team Jaquish. Back-to-back homers. I like bringing in Carrie Eberle. Everything is about just trying to get outs, trying to get your dugout, or your team, excuse me, back in the dugout, get them going.
She faces another power threat in Nadia Taylor. Nadia's won too. Talked about Bianca Stelli last week. Nadia Taylor's won. Just waiting to see her run into something. You Talk about somebody who can hit it a long way. Nadia Taylor can bring it.
She's just got good energy. She's one of those athletes that kind of makes you laugh. She's a great teammate. She's someone that you want to go to war with, that's for sure.
New assistant coach, hitting coach at Michigan State under Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, who was here last night. I saw her here today as well.
The left fielder, number 25, Megan Wiggins.
Taylor's aboard with a walk, and it's down to Megan Wiggins. Well, fans, it's time to earn points for watching tonight's broadcast. Enter that code there on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard. Make sure you download the app today for free and get access to all this great Athletes Unlimited content. I think we're going to get a pinch runner for Nadia Taylor at first base. It'll be the other Sooner, Nicole Rangel-Mendez, coming out of the dugout. They put themselves in a good spot here in the fourth inning. There's 20 inning points on the line. It rolled over from the third. They've got a 4-1 lead, and they could add to it in this inning. Still just one out. Wiggins singled her first time up in the third.
Great spot. That's a heavy drop ball. It just drops off the table. She's able to elevate that for a strike. She can throw it down in the zone when she gets 0-2, get you chasing.
Ground ball right side, under the glove of Jefferson. Rangel-Mendez pulls up. She almost gets tagged off of second base. The oohs and ahs from the crowd tell you how close that one was.
Second baseman, number 75, Aubrey Leach.
Rhodes fired it in from right field.
Well, and Janae Jefferson has to go to her glove side a little bit, but I think that this is a play that needs to be made. Love the effort by Rhodes. Almost got her at 2, but
Still waiting on the decision on the hit or error there at second base, and it's worth 10 points to Megan Wiggins if it is a hit.
it's going to be an error.
And it is an error.
And it should be. I
Yeah,
mean, she
for
didn't have to move too much to her glove side, and that's a play that if you ask Janae Jefferson if she can make, she's going to say yes all day.
Aubrey Leach trying to make them pay. One is outside. Wiggins and Rangel-Mendez on. It's been a really perfect night weather-wise for softball here in Rosemont. Great crowds. Eberle misses outside again. 3-1. Leach swinging, scooped up by Flippin, and goes to Jefferson to get Wiggins and make it first and third. Nice play by Hannah Flippin.
It's incredible, the glove work on that. Hannah Flippin, are you flipping kidding me? Just money defense. Trying to roll up that double play to Janae Jefferson. Aubrey Leach, a ton of speed up the first baseline. Not going to get her, but that was smoked, and she did a great little pick.
Outside, ball one to Sydney Romero. One from Eberle. That is a great spot on the inside corner. Tough count for Romero right here. Swing and a miss. And Eberle does her job out of the bullpen. Back-to-back home runs. Played 3 runs for Team Jaquish in the 4th, and they lead it. Team Jaquish leading Team Mulipola 4-1. Some big coaches in the stands. Sydney Romero will be joining the Duke staff next season, or this summer, I should say. Marissa Young in the stands watching Sydney Romero at shortstop. She's probably thinking, can I put a jersey on her next year, please?
I love that she's out here cheering on Peyton St. George, our new assistant coach, Sydney Romero.
I've seen Peyton St. George warming up a couple times for Team Jaquish. We'll see if she is who could potentially be the first arm out of the bullpen, but we talked about that earlier, and Shannon Sales says, hold on. We don't need anybody out of the bullpen. I'm going to take care of business right now. She's on her 2nd trip through this order. She went 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd, and now she's got the 4, 5, 6 hitters here, starting with Shannon Rhodes. What do you like so far with Sale?
Yeah, she's done a really good job of keeping the ball down in the zone, and she's mixed pitches really, really well. And at this level, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to work in, work out, but at the end of the day, it's about getting ahead. And I think when you can get ahead with a really good pitch, you can be successful. And we've been lucky here to be able to see some cool college coaches.
Yeah.
Kate Drohan from Northwestern, fresh off of Oklahoma City with her team. We saw Lonnie Alameda with Florida State last weekend. Now you get the opportunity to see Marissa Young with Duke.
McDonald Kelly was in the stands last night. There's Lindsay Leftwich, LSU assistant, Beth Torino.
Cheering on Savannah Jaquish.
Absolutely, 4-time All-American.
The only 4-time All-American.
This has popped up into right field. Harshman calling off Aubrey Leach.
First baseman, number 70, Andrea.
And there's one out here for Shannon Sale. Oh, we've got Sachel Palacios in the chair chat for
Hi.
Team Jaquish. How you doing, Sachel? Thanks for joining us, of course.
I'm excited. I'm happy I finally got a chance to be in the chair.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you. And so far, it's been a good weekend for Team Jaquish. What's the vibe right now with this team?
Honestly, when we all got drafted, we were like, it's very random, but it was working. And I think that we just all bought in, and we're all excited and just celebrating the little things with each other. Back-to-back jacks it's great to see too, but just kind of like just being together, playing together, and just pumping each other up.
Sachel, talk to me about what it's been like going into year 3. I mean, it's crazy to think it's already been 3 years since the inaugural season, but kind of your mindset going into season 3 and maybe some things that you wanted to kind of work on or be a little bit better at, whether that's on the field or off the field here for season 3.
Honestly, every year, go for it. Okay. Every year it's bigger and it's better, and from every little detail, they do everything so professional here, and I'm just so grateful that I have an opportunity to be here, an opportunity to play ball. Like, look where we're at, the beautiful weather with beautiful human beings, and I think, coming off of last year with our Olympic run, and then kind of had this talk with you, Danielle, that like I felt like I was kind of going through the motions a little bit. So this year I was just like, embrace everything. This is the softball that I had this year to look forward to. And I feel like all of us, especially the ones that went through that national experience, just come and play some ball, play free, and just enjoy where we're at with the people that we're with.
Well, and talk to me what it's like being able to play with your Team Mexico teammates. You guys are just always together. You get the chance to hang out. I mean, it's like 5 weeks together, but that relationship and how important that is to you.
Honestly, it was really hard this past year, just not being together as consistently as we were last year. We were really spoiled, and we always joke about it that, you know, in the times, yeah, it was really tough with our Olympic experience, but, you know, we kind of sometimes took being together all the time for granted, and we all were looking forward to these 5 weeks and then the 3 weeks at AUX, and just being together, playing together, and those girls know me better than anybody. I know Tuli well and all the girls, and just having the opportunity to be back here on the field playing with them and just embracing everybody else that comes along as well. It's just, that's one big thing. Come on, come on. One. Tough. That's one thing with our culture. It's like we're big on family. We're big on just bringing everybody together, and I think that that's something that, you know, makes us all happy, is to be all together with these humans.
Well, and lastly, I just want to ask, I mean, I know that your family got to go out and watch you at AUX and how special that was to be able to be played in San Diego. Will your family be making an appearance here? Have I missed them? Are they coming?
I'm trying to bribe them to come for week 4 or 5. They came to every single game at AUX. I was born and raised 15 minutes away from there, and my grandpa got to see me play professionally for the first time live, and it was super special, something I will remember forever, and I'm just grateful that AU has given me that opportunity to play in front of my grandpa and in front of my family.
I love it.
Well, Sashel, that grand slam you hit in San Diego was one of my favorite moments from that season, so keep up the good work. We're glad you got to the chair finally.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's about time.
I know.
Sashel Palacios for Team Jaquish caught Danielle O'Toole last night. Battery is working really well.
And I totally know what she's talking about when she says she was kind of sad, like missing her teammates in the off season. I felt the exact same way. And some of my Canadian teammates here, Victoria Hayward, Kelsey Harshman, Sarah Groenewegen, Jen Salling, a facilitator, you grind so hard with those teammates. And that Olympic year and the additional year of the pandemic and postponing the Olympics, all you had was each other and the work that you were willing to put in and choose to put in and day out. So when you're separated from them, it's almost like you're mourning a loss, and it's not easy. I mean, you can communicate FaceTime via text, but it's just not the same. And that's why this sport is so incredible, but it's the relationships built. It's the memories with teammates. It's not always the victories or the medals that you look back at when you're older. It's who's in your corner when you need them the most. If you have to pick up the phone and call someone to have your back, it's usually one of your teammates. It's the best part about the game. It's what I try to tell my kiddos about my experiences in the game, because my teammates were everything and they made me who I am.
She's hanging out with some of those former teammates right now.
She
talking
is. She's getting milkshakes. Jen Salling. I don't know what was on the menu. She's just climbing the ladder. Looks like it flattens out a little bit. Good pitch. If she can get that high pitch, I like it. But Shannon Sale just getting herself in a little bit of a pickle here with bases loaded and one down with a 4-run lead.
Savannah Jaquish walked a few steps out in front of the plate. The infield kind of came together. Savannah Jaquish was looking at the dugout. She looked back. I think it was kind of one more. This is it. One way or another, I think this could be the last batter Shannon Sale faces. She would like to strand the bases loaded against Lily Piper. That misses down low, ball 1. Shannon Rhodes led the inning off with a fly out. Then it's a walk, a single, and a walk. And that's how we got to this point with the bases loaded. In a huge point in this game. A 3-run game. There's 20 inning points on the line. And Sale misses outside again. And you have Aaliyah Andrews on deck, who's swinging a hot bat. Had 3 hits last night. Piper's already driven 1 in with a single. It's Filler, Jefferson, Busby around the bases for Team Mulipola. That is fouled straight back, and it's a 2-1 count. Savannah Jaquish hoping her pitching staff can continue to have success in these bases loaded situations. It was Danielle O'Toole dancing out of them yesterday. Charlotte Morgan wants a word with Lily Piper.
Sometimes I wish we mic'd up the facilitators and got to listen in.
What was the word there from Charlotte Morgan? Can Lily Piper become the 4th Grand Slam in Athletes Unlimited championship history? I mentioned the one that Palacios hit, that was in AUX. Piper takes a big swing, and that got Jaquish on the foul ball. Hopefully she's all right behind the plate.
Feel that one later tonight. Catchers don't get enough credit. Getting beaten up back there. They're constantly touching the ball. She's obviously the captain, the leader of this team.
Big pitch right here, 2-2. This is hit into center field. And just in front of Nichols. The run will score. That's Filler coming across, and Piper has her 2nd RBI single of the game.
I'd be making a pitching change right about now. This is a 2-run ball game right now. Lily Piper does enough to drop this in right in the kind of Bermuda Triangle. It's a base hit on the books.
They are going to leave Shannon Sale in. Hits the outside corner against Aaliyah Andrews.
And I feel like over the course of last week and this week that I've been here and really been watching, at times I've been seeing pitchers maybe left in a little bit too long. And it's not a knock on the pitcher, but it's just looking at the situation. And right now we've seen Peyton St. George warm in the bullpen for quite some time. It's not to say that Shannon Sale wouldn't be able to get out of this, but it's all about kind of momentum. And right now, bases loaded, 1 down. Kind of playing with fire a little bit.
0-2, Jaquish scoops it up.
And we saw it a little bit yesterday with Team McClinney, with Taylor McQuillan. She was rolling, and then all of a sudden, hit by pitch by Megan Wiggins, and stuff started to spiral. I thought after the hit by pitch.
There it is! Andrews delivers! And the game is tied at 4. Aaliyah Andrews continues her hot streak at the plate over the last 2 nights.
Feeling that momentum. Past the bat mentality, this pitch on the inner half, and she takes it right back up the middle. We got a tie ball game here, folks.
Aaliyah Andrews delivers, and those 20 inning points are up for grabs for Team Mulipola as they have tied the 4th inning 3-3 and the game 4-4. It's Peyton St. George entering the game for Team Jaquish. And she is in a tough spot. The top of the order coming up, 1st and 3rd with just the 1 out. We had Peyton St. George mic'd up earlier when she was getting warm.
What's your name?
Maya.
Maya, so nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for signing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Peyton St. George, that's just so good. A young fan asking for her autograph. When she was out there warming up, that was our into the game with Air National Guard. And she enters this game, has not picked up a decision, but she has a chance to do it tonight at just under 5 ERA. As a rookie, she's got her head coach from Duke in the stands. Can she get it done?
This is a great opportunity. The pressure is already supplied for you. You have to love coming into a moment like this, a tie ball game, pretty much equal playing grounds, in my opinion. And as a pitcher, when I was coming into those types of moments, you have to love it. Bringing in Sachel Palacios. Whew, I love it. Chucky, I'm here for it. Got a close game.
Tense moments here. Team Mulipola has fought back. They are the only team that has not won this week. Team Jaquish won last night, McClenny won today, and Chittister won last night. Is this the night for Team Mulipola? Jasmine Jackson will come in to face Peyton St. George. She will be the first batter to see her. Jackson is 0 for 2. There's Jaquish over at third base now. So Nadia Taylor is removed from that spot. And here's the first pitch from St. George. Outside, ball 1. Palacios throws down. And Aaliyah Andrews has 10 points on the stolen base.
A lot of work going on my scorebook. Shout out to Courtney Lyle for the erasable pens.
Yeah, Andrews, I don't think there was much of a doubt she was going to go for that.
Ooh.
Big swing there from Jackson. That's strike 1. The infield in to try to make sure Lily Piper doesn't go anywhere at third base. That is in there as well. When St. George gets in her motion, Romero takes about 3 steps further in. They are tight when she releases that pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. St. George led Duke to their first ever super regional where they lost to UCLA this year.
Marissa Young looking on.
This is hitting to center field. Nichols coming over. That falls in front of Bubba Nichols. Piper comes in to score, and the lead belongs to Team Mulipola. Jaquish scores 3 in the top of the 4th, and Mulipola says, "I'll raise you one." They take the lead 5-4.
We've seen a couple of these to center field to Bubba Nichols where it's close. It looks like, man, are we gonna lay out? And you kind of see it on her face. She thought about it. You also have to play the game smart with runners on. You lay out, that ball gets by you. You're tagging on an additional couple runs.
Runner goes. Leach cuts it off but drops it. And Andrews is coming in. It was a little bit high. Aubrey Leach couldn't quite handle it. And Aaliyah Andrews comes across. That's another run here in the 4th. 5 of them.
And this is just a classic first and third. You see the second baseman coming across, and they're trying to worry about the runner, but most importantly, just have to be able to catch that ball. Gets away from her, and that's a ball that Aubrey Leach knows that she needs to catch.
It's a stolen base for Jackson. Flippin thought about it and leaves it alone. Now, can you limit this damage and keep this game close?
Everybody clap your hands.
Anna Flippin has a hit in every game of this Athletes Unlimited season. Singled back in the 1st. Fighting off pitches from St. George. Peyton St. George in the circle. She was in the chair chat week 1 with Eric Collins and Madison Shipman, and she was just so low-key, relaxed, lighthearted, having fun. Flippin' into left center, past Wiggins. Jackson will score. It's a double for Hannah Flippin. And Team Mulipola is capitalizing right now.
Get him out right now. This looks like an off-speed curve on the outside part of the plate. Hannah Flippin waits on it, hits it all the way to the wall.
7 straight reaching base right now for Team Mulipola. This inning started long ago with Shannon Sale getting a fly out of Shannon Rhodes. And here we are 6 runs later. Deja Mulipola with the inning points that will come once the final out of this inning is made is just 22 points behind Savannah Jaquish in the top spot on the leaderboard of our Geico leaderboard right there. Obviously doesn't show that yet, but she will get 20 for these inning wins. So a triple or home run right here, and she would be in first place on the leaderboard again. Often for the rest of the season will we be talking about the back and forth from Jaquish and Mulipola. You said it at the beginning of this week, you thought they had the best chance to become those first hitters. McClenny is really, or the beginning of last week I should say, McClenny entered into that conversation. Chittister jumped up there into the 4th spot entering this week. And there's others that are creeping around, and I told somebody last night, I said Danielle O'Toole's coming. She's starting to heat up. And it is really tight at the top of the leaderboard. A lot of players still in this. Deja Mulipola certainly has to be one of the favorites right now.
Yeah, she's swinging a hot bat. She's consistent. Just behind Savannah Jaquish is Deja Mulipola. Such an active leaderboard, constantly moving. You see Danielle O'Toole in that 7 spot. And if she were to pitch tomorrow, I think there could be a good chance of her maybe potentially scooting up there.
Yep. You can just about pencil her in for an MVP spot. Every time she throws, she's been so good, especially the last 2 times. Shannon Rhodes up for the 2nd time in this inning. She is the only player on Team Mulipola who has not reached base in this inning, and it's 8 straight reaching for them. Outside 1 and 2. St. George inserted in a really tough spot. I think you mentioned it, probably 1 batter too late. You never know how things would have went. But I think your point was spot on. You know, we saw it yesterday with McQuillan. She was so good, and you think just don't gamble with it when you start to see something happen, and you can kind of feel it. But that is the challenge. We have the outside perspective. We're relaxing up here in the box looking down on this thing when everything down there is probably moving a lot quicker when you're a captain and also out on the field.
Well, I think you have to have a plan of attack every single inning as the game goes on, as the game is close, moving into the 5th. Okay, if a situation happens, where am I going to the bullpen? If a runner gets on, if a runner gets to 2nd, but you have to have a plan. You can't kind of go into it in the dark, because that's when bad stuff happens.
And they say Rhodes did go around. So Shannon Rhodes has the 2 outs in the inning. Oof.
I think she held it.
First pitch to Andrea Filler is in there. You can credit her with starting this rally with the 1 out. She walked and came around to score the first run of this 6th run 4th for Team Mulipola. This is hit into a tough spot over Romero. Flippin coming around to score. Filler has an RBI single.
Second baseman, number 42, Jimmy Jefferson.
And these balls just continue to keep finding a hole. They're not wicked, hard-hit balls, but just enough to get over the infielder's head and fall in front of those outfielders. Momentum just continuing to build with a 7th spot here in the bottom of the 4th.
When it rains, it pours. That wasn't hit super hard, but just found the right spot. It is all going right now for Team Mulipola. Can Janae Jefferson keep it going? She singled and scored earlier in this inning. Quick 2 strikes from St. George. Right side, and Vidalis takes care of it. Well, it was a long inning. If you're a fan of Team Jaquish, they give up 7 runs, an aspiration, planting 70 trees because of it. It was everybody in on the action.
Just the pass the bat mentality. And you have to love it. If you are Team Mulipola, Hannah flipping with a big time double. Wow.
Team Mulipola has doubled up Team Jaquish on the scoreboard. They get 20 more inning win points. It is 8-4 as we go to the 5th here in Rosemont. So much softball action. The Little League Softball World Series continuing tomorrow at 1 Eastern on ESPN. Texas, Virginia on their side of the bracket for a chance to play in the Little League Softball World Series Championship Monday at 7 Eastern against the winner of Maryland and the Philippines, which follows them on ESPN at 4 Eastern. Just loving today, Little League, the theme here at Athletes Unlimited is Allison Febri takes over first base for Team Mulipola. Febri familiar with Carrie Eberle in the circle, played together at Oklahoma State. That's a 1-0 pitch now from Eberle. And all 3 of the Oklahoma State players have been entered into this game or started. Busby in the batting order to start things off as the DP. Eberle in the circle now, and Febri at first. We're talking about that tremendous catch of Odyssey Alexander's earlier in the game, and 3 people who didn't love that were Eberle, Busby, and Febri because they were on the other side. Busby and Febri were starting in the 4-5 hole in that game, and Carrie Eberle actually took the loss, a 2-1 loss. She was the starting pitcher. Carrie Eberle was at the top of that leaderboard entering week 2, got off to a tremendous start. Was an MVP in the first game. Her team collected all 120 points. It just faded as the weekend went on last weekend, but I just still think you can rule her out of this thing. She could really get hot. She's still up there toward the top of the leaderboard. She was so dominant in the first week and then the start of week 2. Jaquish is on with a leadoff walk.
Well, and that's the last thing you want to do as a pitcher. When your team puts a 7 spot and you're up 8-4, you don't want to walk the lead off. And I know Savannah Jaquish is elite, don't get me wrong, but I still challenge her with my stuff because I believe in my stuff. I feel like my drop ball can get anybody out in the world as long as I put it in a good location. It just looks like right now Carrie Eberle hasn't been able to find good strikes here in the top of the 5th.
.2-0 now to Bubba Nichols, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single back in the first inning. Drove in Sydney Romero for the first run for Team Jaquish. Helped collect those 10 inning win points. Nichols foul ball here for strike 1. Bubba was really one of the stories in week 2. She was so good offensively, but made a number of great plays out in left field. She's been in center field this week. You mentioned it earlier, there's a couple of those tonight we've seen where she's been close to maybe being able to lay out, but hasn't got to yet. 2-1, right side, and that's through. A base hit, the ball gets past Rhodes in right field, Nichols up to second, and Jaquish into third.
Designated player.
And will that cost him?
And I thought for a second, based on where Allison February was standing, which was quite a ways away from first base, that she was going to be able to glove this up, but doesn't get to it. And that little bobble in right field by Shannon Rhodes allows for both runners to be in scoring position.
It's a 4-run game. This is far from over, though, and I'm not just talking the inning points that are on the line. Both of these lineups can put runs on the board in a hurry. DJ Sanders did it last night with a 2-run home run. That's inside ball 1. But right in the middle of this order with Sanders and Harshman. Nobody out. Outside corner, good spot from Eberle. DJ, the volunteer assistant at Mississippi State this past season. Reaches out, Eberle fields this one, and there's no problem tonight. That is into the baseline. She apologizes to February for putting her in harm's way as DJ Sanders was bearing down. And here's a dangerous bat. Sanders did it last night, Harshman's done it tonight.
Yeah, this is just right down Main Street. Takes it left center field.
Great season at the plate, 417 average. She was a captain last week. She was in the 4th spot on the leaderboard. And it was Carrie Eberle who kicked off the week for Team Harshman in about the worst possible way, taking all 120 win points from him. Kelsey Harshman would like to, in some ways, return the favor here and deliver in a big way for her team. (1-0) outside, 2-0. Dangerous part of the order. This is when they went back-to-back with Harshman and Vidalis. That's down low, 3-0 to Harshman. Harshman in her 3rd season out of Wisconsin. Having her best year of Athletes Unlimited. This is off the handle to Jefferson, but 1 run comes across. They get one back as Savannah Jaquish scores.
First baseman, number 29, Tori Vidalis.
So the last chance in the inning, potentially Tori Vidalis, and she did it too, but nobody was on.
Yeah, a little back-to-back jacks. A little left center following Kelsey Harshman. Love me some back-to-back jacks. I always just can appreciate a good goosebump moment. Just one of them.
You ever give up back-to-back?
No. I've given up 3 to the same person in one game.
Who was it?
Amber Flores from Oklahoma.
There you go.
You calling me out on
Always,
TV.
always. I will always
Making
call
me
you out up
talk
here.
about my weaknesses on air.
Well, there's not a lot. I mean, you're national
No,
champion.
there is. Pitchers fail more than people think. It's just how you get back up.
But you've done it, though. You've
Totally.
reached the pinnacle.
I think the best piece of advice is being able to help the younger generation when you have struggled, when you have failed. We don't always want to hear about when things are going right. I think it's more important to teach the younger athlete how to deal with failure, especially now. There's a lot more pressure on these athletes, on these little league kiddos that are playing on TV. There's just a lot of pressure, so how do they deal with it? There's that heavy drop ball. I'm here for it. Love that pitch.
I think as a pitcher, maybe even more so. I mean, you come out of college, you're used to that ERA starting with a 1, and things
adjustment.
change quickly.
Yeah, mine went from about a 1 to about a 4, and it took about a week or 2 to figure out that doesn't matter.
Piper coming in to get Vidalis, and she fires it across to Febri for the 3rd out. They limit the damage. Just 1 run across. They could secure those 10 points, though, if they can hold Team Mulipola scoreless.
On this Little League softball night.
8-5, Team Mulipola leading it after that 7-run 4th inning. Let's check in with Key Michael, who's with Andrea Filler's husband, Kyle Ruckham.
I am. Kyle, Andrea's having a pretty good game, and can we credit that to you guys throwing a party for 60 people this weekend?
I think so. There was good vibes rolling all week. We had the whole team over on Wednesday night. It was a fun time. Yeah.
And I know Danielle asked this question yesterday. How do you cater for 60 people? Did you cook? Did you have pizza? What'd you do?
You know, my parents have a lot of experience catering for teams of mine in the past, actually. So they were ready. We had Portillo's, which is a hometown favorite.
Delicious.
We also had some cooked items and a ton of food, and I think the players had a lot of fun.
And Andrea has Italian roots. So another question for you. Coffee, does she take it long or short?
You know, I think when she's out in Italy, she's taking it short. But here, she does full normal American pot of coffee, which I've learned the Italians call American coffee.
They do call it American coffee. And last question for you. You guys met at Northwestern. You were baseball. She was obviously softball. You saw her in the training room, and it was love at first sight.
Yes, it was. We got to share a lot of the same facilities, hit together, and it was the training room, I think, where we forged our love for sure.
Oh, well, isn't that just an athlete romantic story? Well, I love that you're here and that you're supporting her. There's always about 20 Filler family people because she's local. Yeah. But great to chat to you, so thanks so much.
Nice to chat with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Key. As Busby flies out to Sydney Romero in shallow center field, Andrea Filler. She's always quietly having success. I mean, I don't know if there's any way to put it.
Yeah. Well, even to just speak back to having all 60 athletes over to her house, those are some of my best memories as an athlete. Like, you also have to think everyone's committed to being away for 5 weeks. So a nice kind of, I mean, maybe it wasn't a home-cooked meal, but to them it was a home-cooked meal. You got to just be surrounded by family, and those are just the little things that are important about this game, getting to meet Andrea Filler and her people.
Lily Piper back in the box. It's been a good night for her so far. 2 for 2, and both of them were RBI singles. Scored last inning, part of those 7 runs. Team Mulipola needs a run here in the 5th to roll those inning points over. Peyton St. George, her first full inning of work. Piper fouls that one down the line. One-two count for Peyton St. George. Can she settle in here, give them a couple good innings, and maybe see this lead get chipped away out like it did there in the 5th with that 1 run? That one bounces before the batter's box to Palacios. And it's a 2-2 count. And there's that Andrea Filler fan club. Inside ball 3, 3-2 to Lily Piper. Piper, the only Buckeye to ever hit over 400 every year. She had a .419 career average for Ohio State. After starting her career at Akron, where she was a two-sport athlete, and Piper into right center. And she's going for 2. 3 for 3 night for Lily Piper. 20 more points for her.
This is a great piece of hitting. Drops down to her knee, but stays on plane with this pitch on the outer half. Turns on the wheels. A little swaggy slide in the second.
That's absolutely what I was thinking. Piper on second for Aaliyah Andrews. 2 RBI singles, stole a base her last time up. 4 hits in her last 5 plate appearances. Lily Piper now the game leader with 70 points earned between stat points and win points so far in this game. There's the Geico leaderboard. 2 players on her team in the top 10. Deja Mulipola still up there in that 2 spot, just 22 behind Jaquish, and then flipping down really close to Hayward and O'Toole. Those 3 separated by just 6 points. Andrews goes up and gets this one. She's just become super tough out here in week 3. One-two is outside.
I love Aaliyah Andrews in that 9 spot. Has a lot of speed, a lot of experience. Triple threat down there, has some power. Can power slap.
There's a slap left side. Romero's got to be quick, and she is. Gets Andrews by a step and a half at first base for out number 2.
Fielder 24, Jasmine Jackson.
Aaliyah Andrews supplies the pressure with the wheels up the line, but you cannot freak out as an infielder when you get the ball. The one thing you got to just worry about is fielding it cleanly and making a good throw. Maybe your throw has to have a little bit more giddy up on it, but you don't ever want to let the speed of the runner change the way you play defense, in the sense where you feel like you have to do something differently. We train repetition after repetition to be able to excel in those pressure moments.
You have PFP every day in practice?
We did have PFP every day in practice.
Danielle O'Toole loves it. She said that's one of her favorite, that is her favorite thing to do in practice, pitcher fielder practice. And she's great at fielding her position.
Danielle O'Toole and Sarah Groenewegen, I've seen them make some plays where it's like, man, I feel like they could be playing another position. They just cat-like reflexes.
And Peyton St. George closes the door on the inning, gives her team 10 points. Everybody on Team Jaquish. They cut the lead to 3 in the 5th. (8-5), 2 innings to play, and still a lot up for grabs between Team Jaquish and Team Mulipola. Do not miss our Sunday night baseball matchup. The Yankees and Red Sox will finish their 3-game series up at Fenway, 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight's Sunday night countdown. And you've got the K-Rod presentation with Michael K. and A-Rod on ESPN2. You can hear from Derek Jeter as well. Captain airing on ESPN and available on ESPN Plus. One fan in the stands. First pitch swinging for Sachel Palacios, and Carrie Eberle has a very quick out number 1 here in the 6th.
The left fielder, number 25, Megan Wiggins.
If I'm Carrie Eberle, I am all about those quick outs, knowing I have 5 more outs to work with against Team Jaquish with a 3-run lead. You just want to be efficient, and I think that first out right out of the gate gives you a second to take a breath. Ready to go.
Megan Wiggins at the plate. Has found her way on a couple times in this game already. Eberle evens the count at 1-1. Megan Wiggins said in San Diego she just wants to play this game as long as she possibly can. Hits this one just foul. Greta Jaquish is the Italian-born pitcher here at Athletes Unlimited in her first season. She's on Team Mulipola. She had a comment that she made at Media Day about coming to play in this league and coming to play in America professionally, and she said, I'm so excited to play with some legends of the game. And she mentioned Kat Osterman. She said, I know Kat's not going to be there, but Kat Osterman played in this league, and the other name she mentioned was Megan Wiggins. She goes down looking right there to Carrie Eberle, but I thought overall for the career that Megan Wiggins has had and for someone like Jaquish to make that comment, it is just incredible. Well, new season, new look, new merch. Be sure to check out all the brand new Athletes Unlimited softball items, including player name and number tees. Go to shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. Back to the top of the order, and Aubrey Leach. Carrie Eberle trying to go 1-2-3 quickly here through Team Jaquish. That's a good spot. She's starting to locate, starting to dial it in, and that was the issue at the end of week 2. Couldn't get out of the first inning, handful of walks. She's dangerous when she can locate.
Well, and throw that off speed. You just look at that last pitch that froze Megan Wiggins, that changeup. When she has that pitch and can locate or drop, one of the best pitchers in this league. And Carrie Eberle, Danielle O'Toole, and Rachel Garcia are those 3 pitchers that, in my mind, I think always have the best chance of being able to throw a full 7.
And that ground out right there has Eberle tied for 8th place. It took her just 9 pitches to go 1-2-3 in the inning. Bottom half coming up. 8-5, 10 inning points on the line. Team Mulipola just needs 1 run to secure those and pad their lead in this game. Don't forget, tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern, we start our doubleheader over on ESPN Plus with Team Chittister and Team Jaquish. And this is it for lacrosse championship week. And the championship game, the second of a doubleheader, will be at 3:30 Eastern. There it is, Apuzo and Marino still tight at the top of the leaderboard. It is going to come down to that final day tomorrow. And we bring in Haley Busby in the chair chat from Oklahoma State. Haley, it's your first season. We're happy you made it out to the chair for a little chat. And tell us, what's the experience been like for you so far?
Oh man, the experience has been amazing for me so far. I've been able to spend, the last 3-4 weeks with some amazing players that I've grown up
Wow.
Like Flip. Some amazing players that I just get to watch and learn from, and it's just been an amazing experience so far.
Well, there you go, right on cue. Hannah Flippin delivers it, and whenever we're talking chair chats, good things always happen. Is there somebody that specifically stands out to you, like a Hannah Flippin, that you've been able to talk to and learn from?
Yeah, this is the first time I've been able to play with Flip, so she's taught me quite a bit. We've talked a bunch about swings, we've talked a lot about, fielding too with my defense, and her and Vic and Kelsey Harshman, they've been really, really good role models for me since I've been here.
Haley, I have to ask, just the difference from the college game to playing professionally? I know we all have our own thoughts on the game and if it's sped up or not, but what would you say is probably the biggest difference from Oklahoma State and then headed here to Athletes Unlimited?
You know, just everybody's having such a good time here, and we had an amazing time at OSU. That was kind of one of the reasons that I transferred there. We just kind of get to be ourselves in the dugout and on the field, and I kind of get to just bring that over here to AU, and it's just here, like, it's such a big age range, you know, from me probably being one of the youngest here to, you know, getting to learn from people like Vic and Chitty. So it's really exciting to just get to experience that with some of these amazing players.
Hey girl, I'm noticing that Whoop band we got on our wrist. Tell me your thoughts on that and kind of how your recovery has been, especially on game days here.
I actually just got it on Monday. Ooh. So yeah, KJ was talking to me, Kelsey Harshman was talking to me about her Whoop, and I had one at University of Virginia because Coach Rafter, she kind of had us, she had us use it a couple times throughout the year, and I kind of got away from it, but I saw a lot of people here have one, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a shot, and so far I've been sleeping a lot better, even though it's only been like a week, but I'm more, you know, cognizant of just making sure that I'm getting to bed on time and being ready for game day.
Love it.
Well, Haley, congratulations on being here. We're excited you're here, and you're on like it's the Oklahoma State team, so it should be comfortable for you this week.
It is.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Line shot from Mulipola out to Kelsey Harshman.
Right fielder, number 6.
It's a single for Deja. 10 points for her, closing in back to 22 there behind Savannah Jaquish.
Can we just talk about that Hannah flipping bomb?
Ooh.
It was a bomb.
Right on cue. She's talking about flipping and boom. 77 miles per hour off the bat of Hannah flipping.
There's so many players that I wish I had gotten the opportunity to play with. But if I was a captain, she would be one of my first 3 picks. And it's purely based on, obviously, she could play some defense, but I think it's her leadership and her attention to detail and the fact that she is such a leader. She's never too high or never too low, and I truly admire that about Hannah Flippin and her journey in this game and her success at the collegiate level at Utah, her experience with Team USA. She's one of a kind.
Has continued to just get better and better as her career has gone on. Pinch runner here, Mulipola going to come off, and Alicia Ocasio, who's a player of many talents, will come on to run for Mulipola. Seen Alicia in right field. I've seen her at the plate. Certainly have seen her in the circle. Nobody out. Rhodes into left field. Wiggins is underneath it. And there is the first out. Ocasio trying for second. What a great hustle from Alicia Ocasio. That's why they pinch ran her.
And I just saw Tori Vidalis, the last pitch, totally smack talking. Alicia Ocasio kind of pushed her away, like, man, leave me alone. She's probably saying, oh, you gonna steal? You gonna try to get those points?
Febri watches ball 1. Allison Febri, who's one of Haley Busby's teammates at Oklahoma State. Eberle, Busby, Febri. It's a good combo. A 2-0 count for Peyton St. George.
I don't know about you, but the mic on the first base side, those little kiddos are standing there kind of bantering back and forth, and you can kind of just hear the cuteness of them having conversations about the players on the field, and that's just the pure innocence
on Ocasio was caught out. It was a walk. She was going to third, and I think a little bit mistaken on the situation. And she got lucky because the ball was dropped as they were chasing her back to second.
Yeah, this was interesting. Just a casual stroll over. Oh, yep, nope. Oh, Jaquish got me, but Savannah Jaquish just wasn't controlling the ball.
And I think Ocasio just kind of lost track of the situation, thinking there was somebody behind her at first base. She got lucky. Janae Jefferson gets a chance with 2 on. Jefferson lifts one high and deep, left field. One hops the wall. Ocasio will score. Febri holds it third. Janae Jefferson, a double, her second hit of the game.
The DP, number 54, Haley Busby.
Good at bat by Janae Jefferson. This is just a laser to the wall. For a second, she held up. She thought maybe this is out of here. This is a double all day. Tack on another ribby, another run for Team Mulipola. Puts him up 10-5. Alicia Ocasio, it's a sure thing.
You can see Janae Jefferson's reaction at second base. She was elated. It's got to feel good for her to see that going. Alicia Ocasio comes in. She was with some Little Leaguers earlier.
Little League was the first place that I stepped on the field and competed. Shout out to the Riptide and Conway Little League in Florida. It was my segue to the sport. It allowed me to be exposed to other athletes who were also in the same time to finding a sport that they love. So I credit the start of my career to Conway Little League and to Little League as a whole, because that's really where I fell in love with the game.
Alicia Ocasio, one of 8 players at Athletes Unlimited on the rosters who played Little League, and you can find out more about Little League softball at littleleague.org. We were talking about watching some of the games earlier, and it's so good to see really softball on ESPN Family of Networks all day long. Little League Softball World Series and Athletes Unlimited. We'll take it. We want more of that. So many of them, they're already starting to line up for autographs after this game. We've got Sydney Littlejohn Watkins entering this one. Down 5 runs and trying to limit the damage here.
She can spin it. Throws a great curveball away from those righties. Can really get some good movement. Probably the best movement in Athletes Unlimited as far as true spin rate. She's not going to blow it by you at 70 miles an hour, but she's going to beat you based on spin.
She's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Haley Busby. It has to be hard to really get an idea of the movement on Sydney Littlejohn Watkins' curveball until you have been in there and seen it. It's probably still pretty difficult. And there it is, that back door, just a little inside.
And she's one of those pitchers that you have to take true reps off, like a hack attack, seeing the spin, feeling the spin as a hitter, and getting uncomfortable with what that feels like. Because that's ultimately what it is. Like, you'll face some pitchers that throw heavy velocity. You look at Rachel Garcia and what she's been able to do, but she does not get as much spin rate, meaning the ball does not spin nearly as much as a Sydney Littlejohn, simply because the velocity of Rachel Garcia, you don't have as much time.
And that was not fouled. That gets away from Palacios, so Busby will take first on the strikeout right there, and now bases are loaded.
And this just goes to show this is a defensive swing. This is other batter's box, folks. It literally just tips off of the top of Sachel Palacios' mitt, and it's an open base because you had Janae Jefferson. at second. Had Allison Febri at third.
That's a tough one right there for Little John Watkins, who thought she had an out. Instead, still just the one out and bases loaded. And a pinch hitter, Jordan Roberts, out of Florida. We have seen her just get extremely hot at Athletes Unlimited. She's trying to find that form right now. Just outside from Little John Watkins. There it is, spins that one back across the plate for strike one. Jordan Roberts tied for 14th in San Diego at AUX. She was 12th in the inaugural season and 21st last summer. Hit 320 last summer. 2-1, ground ball, Romero going to third, but the run comes across. Febri scores, and that makes it an 11-5 game.
That's a really good job by Sydney Romero. This ball's in the hole, gloves it up. Lucky her momentum's taking her towards third base, which makes this an easy out at third. And at this point, we're just trying to get outs. There's 2 outs now up on the board.
Returning to the game and running for Jordan Roberts at first base.
Piper comes back into her spot for Roberts over at first base, but there's 2 away. It is 10 more inning points earned with these 3 runs coming across in the 6th for Team Mulipola. Little John Watkins limit as much as she can. Team Jaquish has a big task in the 7th inning. Leah Andrews brought in 2 runs with a single earlier in the game, scored. Trying to bring in some more, fouls that one back. It'll be interesting what Savannah Jaquish does with her pitchers tomorrow. Who will it be? Will we see maybe a start from Sydney Little John Watkins, bring O'Toole in relief, or vice versa? Gets Andrews swinging for out number 3. It's 10 more inning points for everybody on Team Mulipola, though. They've got 11 in the game.
Hannah Flippin, there we go. Now we can talk about that pretty swing. Big time moment for Hannah Flippin, one of my favorites to watch. 10 points for everyone on Team Mulipola.
Time for our Geico defensive play of the game.
A little strike him out, throw him out. Love it. Savannah Jaquish with the absolute cannon. Sydney Romero gets where she needs to be to apply the tag. It's like clockwork. I love seeing those middle infielders play defense and watching the shortstops, getting to watch Anissa Urtez, Sydney Romero, Sis Bates. That's the hardest thing at times to do, to be able to run towards the base. There's a runner that's running at you. You have to concentrate on the ball. You have to apply the tag. And you have to make sure that there's no player interference. You don't want to get in the way of the runner, or it's an automatic safe.
If things hold, every team going into the final day of week 3 will have a win. And that is, we talked about that night 1 in game 2. We said, man, this is just, it feels like this is going to be a chaotic weekend. All these teams look very evenly matched. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. Really, I think the scariest team going into the final day it might be Team McClenny, and it's the bats for them. What they did today as a lineup, a complete lineup, especially the top 5 and 6 in that order. Oh my goodness, that is terrifying.
Yeah, they have some consistency there for sure. I look at Garcia and her performance today, and then I look at how they could potentially plan tomorrow. They have Taylor McQuillan, they have Mariah Masson, they have Danielle Watson. You're not going to start Rachel Garcia because if anything, I would want to bring her in. So how do you kind of manipulate and use that staff to your advantage, whether it's a pitch by committee mentality, one time through the lineup. We saw Mariah Masson get the start game 1, did pretty good, but it'll be interesting to see how they approach that. Because on Sunday, there's a lot on the line because you want to end on the best note possible heading into the draft, but you also, at times, can be a little tired, especially as the weeks go on. There's a lot of softball, there's a lot of action.
Almost got Sydney. She dodged it though. The leadoff walk for Sydney Romero. And now it's Jaquish. At the least, they would like to put a run up and force a bottom half because of those inning points. 0-1 count after the foul ball. Savannah 0 for 2 with a walk. Rare night for her, not having a base hit, hitting .458. We're in week 3. Good spot there on the outside corner by Eberle. 0-2 as you look at the Geico leaderboard, and for Jaquish, it would have to be a huge swing. They would probably have to win this inning to maybe keep Deja Mulipola at bay in that second spot. There is a good swing from Jaquish. She's gonna try to take second, and does. It was bobbled in right by Rhodes, and now Romero's coming home. And we will play the bottom of the 7th.
Next up for Team Jaquish, the center fielder.
Sydney Romero just takes advantage of a slight bobble, maybe not really paying attention. Team Mulipola the way they should. Takes advantage of that, and good at bat by Savannah Jaquish, taking that 0-2 pitch.
They were trailing by 6 coming into this inning. We've already seen a 7-run inning. I mean, it would take a lot, but it has been done. Bubba Nichols with no outs and Jaquish on second. Chopper left side, Piper looks Jaquish back, and they do get the first out.
Designated player
Has to be frustrating for this team, even though they're in a great spot to win the game. And they'd have felt great if they didn't have to play the bottom of the 7th. You get the 60 points.
You can't have leadoff walks.
Yeah.
Like, if those are just the little things. If you can button those up and you can start with an out right out of the gate, and then you go and attack Savannah Jaquish, who knows what's going to happen. It's not to say that they won't score if you get that leadoff walk, but I think there's something about getting on base. Sydney Romero, the 2-hitter. Now you get to go to Jaquish, Nichols, Sanders. As a pitcher in those moments, especially to close out a game, got to be sharp. You have to be efficient. You have 3 outs left, and you want to try to be at your best for those 3 outs so you don't put your team in a position to have to play the bottom of the inning.
We saw this. There's only 10 up for grabs in this one. We saw Team Chittister. There's a 40-point inning to finish it off. Piper's going to let this roll as far as she possibly can, and it sits perfectly on the line. And that is an absolute line shot in the scorebook tomorrow for DJ Sanders. O'Toole's loving it, coaching first base over there. DJ Sanders, 2 for 4 tonight with a couple singles. Can they make this interesting? Kelsey Harshman has a 2-run home run in this game as she watches strike 1 on the outside half. Could put herself over the 700-point mark with a base hit. Ground ball, Eberle knocks it down. Coming across is flipping, the run scores. So there's 2 across here in the 7th. It's just a 4-run game now.
First baseman, 29, Tori Vidalis.
This is a ball that Carrie Eberle wishes she could get back to glove up. Just some momentum continues to keep carrying over to Team Jaquish.
Vidalis, she has also done it. The solo shot earlier. Eberle misses outside, ball 1. The potential tying run is on deck. Ooh, that did not feel good for Vidalis. She repeat.
Just turns on that. Tori Vidalis, she's hurting right now.
She's no stranger to success at Athletes Unlimited. Hit .375 last summer, having a big summer this year as well. She's got power, hit 65 home runs in her Texas A&M career.
Tell you, there's nothing worse than that, Chucky. Like hitting a heavy ball into your shin.
One.
You have to go right back there, and you see Tori Vidalis shake her head like, man, I don't want to swing at that pitch right now based on what I just did. I'm surprised she didn't go grab something to put on her shins. That's a really good drop ball in the inner half. I go right back there if I'm Carrie Eberle.
See if she does. 1-2. She does, and Vidalis has to protect. She's thinking, come on, Carrie. Again?
I would sneak a little change in if I could.
Okay.
Haven't seen a Carrie Eberle good off speed. Would like to see her use that here.
1-2. Outside, Vidalis holds up.
It's a good hold.
Two. Chopper up the middle. This is tough. Flippin', tagged. Oh, what a play! Hannah Flippin! That is ridiculous!
Hannah Flippin with a 6-3 DP jam. And that puts an end to the top of the 7th inning.
Wow.
Because of the fact that there were runs scored by Team Jaquish.
Hannah Flippin is just putting on a clinic. Cuts this ball off, the quick tag.
It's close. There is a challenge on the play.
It's so good.
The call on the field was a tag and throw, 6-3 double play.
That was close at first.
Team Jaquish has
Replay official Rachel Palmer taking a look at it right now, and everybody watching it on the big screen here in Rosemont.
And she even was able to throw that with, she didn't even have all of her momentum for the throw.
Wow, that is so close.
Oh, man.
It might hit before foot, I don't know. I mean, it is.
Well, there has to be enough evidence to overturn the call.
And that is millimeters.
The call at first base is out. The call is confirmed.
I think that's a good call. There just wasn't enough there, and I think you can see maybe the ball hitting the mitt before that cleat touches the bag. It's a big play, but we will play the bottom half because right now, Mulipola needs some runs. Little League theme day coming to an end here in Rosemont. Bottom of the 7th coming up. 2 runs for Team Mulipola seals it, and the autograph lines are getting there in the left field line. Here's the strike zone, Danielle.
Yeah, and we've expanded it a little bit this year, and I'm here for it. It's gone up a little bit and gone down a little. This is just the perfect example. Rachel Garcia goes up, Sarah Groenewegen goes down, and then you have a little off-speed change with that river.
Just has to touch on the sides, just any piece of the ball touching the black of the plate, just has to touch the bottom of the zone. The only spot that's different is the top of the zone. It's a ball higher than the NCAA strike zone. And in that scenario, it goes up a ball, but the entire ball has to be in the strike zone in that case. I think that's something that hitters are adjusting to a little bit, but something the pitchers love, and especially love it when it is getting called that way, because when you said it, these hitters are incredible. You need to be able to get the ball off the plate a little bit and right on the edges and get those strike calls.
Here's Chucky saying the hitters are trying to adjust with 18 runs up on the board.
Yeah, you know, they're adjusting well. I didn't say they weren't having success adjusting.
I mean, these hitters are going to score runs regardless. Maybe we can read it on their faces a little more with some strikeouts. But I like that they've expanded the strike zone. I think that these pitchers deserve the river. They deserve to be able to get a little bit of an up call and a little bit of a down call. I don't think you can throw the ball over the middle of the plate to these hitters, and you've seen what happened. You saw it happen when Odyssey Alexander was just pitching, where she gave up the back-to-back jacks to Kelsey Harshman and Tori Vidalis, and those were pitches missed over the middle of the plate, and that's what happens.
Outside from Little John Watkins, 2-2. Sydney came on really strong at AUX in San Diego. Was offered a spot here in the championship season. Swing and a miss, gets Jackson on strikes. We're playing this bottom half because the inning points are up for grabs.
This is a tough pitch. You seeing that movement?
That's great.
That spin rate on the inner half, that's a hard pitch, and it's tailing down.
That was just outstanding. I mean, that's such a great view of how much movement there really is on Sydney Littlejohn Watkins' curveball. Two 2-0 to Hannah Flippin. She will move up to 6th place on the leaderboard once they get those 50 win points added to the point totals.
No, potential MVP in my books.
Yep.
Have a day, Hannah Flippin.
RBI doubled, a solo home run. She singled in the first, and then that double play was tremendous. Good spot there from Little John Watkins. This is fouled straight back and out of play. And it's 3-2 for Little John Watkins to Flippin. Sydney, a national runner-up as a freshman at Alabama in 2014 to Florida. Haley McClenny was on that team with her. McClenny was a sophomore. It's funny, Sydney was having such a great season at AUX. I asked her how much she's looking at the leaderboard, and she said she's really not. You know, there's just so much going on. You can't focus on all that, but she said her husband was. And she said he was texting her after they were talking after one of the nights, and said, why'd you go down on the leaderboard? And she said, well, we didn't win. You got to win, or else you're not going to be able to keep moving up. And that's what I love. I think, and I'm sure that's like that with a lot of family members. They're probably keeping a real close eye on things rather than the players.
Well, 75% of those leaderboard points come from winning games and winning innings. So that says something. That's a good chunk of those points.
Ground ball right side, and it was awkward. It was kind of spinning at Leach, but she still makes the play for out number 2.
The catcher, number 15, Mulipola.
Similar, and it won't be as much as we mentioned, but similar to Team Chittister, stealing some points at the end of the first game of our doubleheader today. They picked up 40 in that last inning, and even though they lost the game, it was a little bit of a consolation prize for them moving into the final day. Still got a little bit out of that one. If Team Jaquish can seal the deal right here, they would lose the game. They'd get 10 more points, and they'd end with 30 win points on the night. And it's better than nothing. Outside to Deja Mulipola. Her team would need 2 runs in this inning to pick up the 7th inning win points. One. Mulipola crushes it over the left field wall. Deja keeps it rolling in Rosemont.
308 feet for the captain. Over the
And that puts her in first place.
left field. Another look at the swing of Deja Mulipola.
Hops right over Jaquish on the Geico leaderboard.
And I just like that slight little step in the bucket to clear her hips to get to this backdoor curveball in the inner half. 308 feet. My kiddo's out there and left with the players. I hope she's taking notes because that is incredible.
Big time. She doesn't need any luck at the plate. That is just absolute incredible ability. Deja Mulipola is at the very top of her game right now. I got a good feeling she's going to be picking another team in week 4.
So do I.
Slow roller. This could secure the points, and it does. So it's 10 points for Team Jaquish in the 7th inning, but Mulipola with the cherry on top to finish her night. She's already at the top of the leaderboard. She will go further when these win points get it added in for the game. You can visit auprosports.com for the updated leaderboard to see who gets those MVP spots and how high they climb. You just saw the 7th inning points get added to everybody on Team Jaquish. But it's going to be 50 for the players in the gold jerseys. But what a night and what a week so far, Danielle. One more to go still.
I know, and like we talk about all the time, Sunday is really setting the tone, getting you ready for the draft on Monday, but you want something to walk away into week 4 feeling really good. So everyone goes into Sunday hoping to have a really good performance. We know Tori Vidalis is going to wake up a little sore, hitting that ball into her shin. I saw her walking and limping around earlier, but we've seen some great softball. I think we had 24 combined hits on the board today.
And there it is. Deja Mulipola, the first player to eclipse 1,000 points on the leaderboard. And going into the final day of week 3, every team has won 1 game. Who can find success tomorrow as we finish up week 3 of Athletes Unlimited softball? Lacrosse crowns a champion tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss that. For Danielle, Lori, Key, Michael, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We'll see you tomorrow here in Rosemont.